So you guys are opening up the season, first official opponent. What have you taken away from the two exhibitions that you played so far?
I think the exhibitions were very needed. I think we learned that playing through those two games. We're far from our best. You know, honestly, if you ask, are we ready to play on Friday? Not nearly as ready as we'd like to be, but I'm sure everyone's dealing with challenges, and our opponents have the same obstacles. I do think we've improved a lot over the last week or two. We needed to face a real opponent, you know, one that will play differently than we do, one that asks different questions, one that will physically challenge you. I think that was a rude awakening for us in our first exhibition. So they're there for a reason, and we had two very good opponents who challenged us in a lot of different ways, and so I feel more prepared than I did before those games.
And then coming into the season, you guys, obviously it was 15 months ago, but coming off of a great season and then in the preseason poll you're picked to win your division, and that's really different from what the team had been experiencing in the last few years. So how do you manage those expectations and that pressure that it may add?
Yeah, I don't think we talk about it that often. We tend to concentrate and concentrate on the process versus any sort of outcome. I liked it better when we were picked to come in 5th or 6th. That's more fits my personality as the underdog. It's certainly a different challenge, having those expectations placed on you. I'm glad that we earned those. It's something we can be proud of, but the messaging that we give to the team is that was a long time ago. You know, that was back in 2019. That's long gone, and this particular team hasn't proven anything. So we have to go out there in our first game, and as we prepare for conference, with that mentality of we have something to prove again. I'm sure plenty of teams honestly don't think we're the best team. They just probably gave us the courtesy votes.
So it's obviously a weird scenario where you were able to get everybody on campus for a full semester and kind of get them integrated into one cohesive group, and how do you think that's going to help as you get into regular season play?
Yeah, this whole year has been so different, and one of the things I've actually appreciated is that semester with the team before we have to compete, and you try to set expectations and how we do things, and you have more of that ability. I think also as coaches, it's a different puzzle to try to solve, and we had to go back to the drawing board and what makes sense and how we put everything together and how we sequence it. You know, I think that the biggest advantage, hopefully, shows up with the newcomers. So it's a lot different when you arrive and then you have 2 weeks before your first game. Now they had a full semester, and we have a big freshman class. We have 2 incoming transfers, and we think there's a lot of talent amongst the new people on the team, and hopefully this gives them a leg up to be able to contribute immediately.
And you're opening with St. Louis, who is, as you said before, a top 40 team. What do you do to get ready for that game in particular?
Yeah, I mean, we're just starting to put together like the actual game plan and the scout and all that stuff. I don't need to see a lot or know a lot. This is a great opponent, and hopefully they have that mutual respect. We've scheduled each other this spring, fall 21 and fall 22, because I think both programs look at the other one and see a lot of ourselves in each other, and have the opportunity for a quality win, right? And if the team that doesn't win, like, I don't think it's going to set them back too far. So ton of respect for Katie and Chris and that staff and that program. They've proven it, right? So if we won last year and this year we're here to prove that we belong and it wasn't a fluke, they've proven it over and over and over again. They've dominated the Atlantic 10. I didn't want to go back and actually see the full stats, but I think it's been 3 or 4 years in a row. And it's not just winning games 1-0. They really ran that conference. So we're facing one of the best non-Power 5 teams in the country, and we know that. And not only are they talented, but they're cohesive and they're used to winning. And I think that's one of the advantages. The team we just played, Grand Valley State, they were coming off, the last game they had played was a national championship game, and they walked off the field as national champions. That's one of the reasons we scheduled them, is they're used to winning. They make winning plays. They don't give you anything, and that's what I'd expect of SLU. If we're going to try to get a result out of this game, we're going to have to earn it.
And then you have kind of an abbreviated non-conference schedule, but what do you hope that team really focuses on during that period of time before you go into Big East play?
Yeah, I mean, non-conference is always partly preparation for conference, the games that matter the most. Now, we've hopefully ascended to a place where we can start thinking about an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament, which are more scarce this year. And so you never want to, you want to treat every game with the appropriate respect. This year's just different. Like we were just talking about it. There's a bunch of snow out there. We just had the worst storm in Cincinnati all winter. And so we don't anticipate being able to use our field this entire week before we're about to play our first game in 15 months. It's okay, right? That's what we tell the team. We're going to roll with the punches. Like everyone's facing challenges that they're not used to. And I think honestly, the team that rises to the occasion and that takes those head on will be the most successful. For the non-conference slate, we were pretty intentional in first playing as many games as humanly possible. So I sent out a listserv saying, we'll play anyone. You tell us where and when, and we're there. And so we were able to get quite a few games. We had 3 exhibitions in there where we can experiment a bit, and then we test ourselves against a lot of good teams, right? So SLU right from the get-go, we're hitting the road a lot, right? So we have to go to Western Kentucky, Bowling Green. We're going to Bellarmine. We're going to Tennessee. We don't have a home non-conference game. I think that's one of the things that served us well last year. We played 7 home games and 17 away, and while it's not that fun in the moment, it sets you up to deal with whatever's thrown your way. You know, if the different field, different referees, different ball, hotels, buses aren't on time, that's all part of it when it comes down to the games that matter the most at the end. So I just want to see us grow. I want to be better a month from now than we are. We haven't had a lot of time with each other. So much has been virtual and distanced that I'm really looking forward to just spending more time around each other in person.